I need to start the recording. One moment while I get that set up. Okay, yeah, because the last couple have been recording, so sorry YouTube audience, you don't get the fancy intro. So today, we are going to be talking about Wrestlemania. Well, not really Wrestlemania, but some like early Wrestlemania season talk, as well as discussion regarding AEW and like how last night went. And I overall, I think that last night was really good. Was a lot of fun, and was exactly what AEW needed to do. So, let's not belabor this too much longer. Sorry, just get everything set up for the stream so that my wonderful video here doesn't cut out. Alright, so let's talk. The hot button right now is AEW. AEW is absolutely killing it with who they're bringing in, when they're bringing them in, and how they are presenting them. So last night was hyped up by Tony Khan about a huge forbidden door being kicked in, that kind of a thing. And I think forbidden door is like the new buzzword. And yes, our resident mid-card maniac, a.k.a. Pat Shen, is right. I am talking about the Keith Lee. AEW did a great job in bringing him in pretty much as soon as he was available. I guess he would have been available last week. But, they brought him in the next week. So, yeah, no fault on that for them. I really think that they did a great job of presenting him and making him feel like an absolute big deal. The commentators made him feel like a big deal, and he is, in fact, a big deal. Note, WWE, that's how you do a debut for Keith Lee. You don't bury him in the mid-card, you make him feel like an absolute superstar, which is what he is. So, that being said, first of all, I love his theme. I think his theme is absolutely incredible. I think AEW killed it again on the theme department, and they made him look hella strong, beating Isaiah Cassidy. And yes, I understand that it's Isaiah Cassidy, but I mean like that when Keith Lee did the over the head toss to Isaiah Cassidy. Cassidy made him look like gold, man. And again, it's Keith Lee. You don't have to do a bunch to make him look good, but he definitely did. So, but the one that I don't think is getting enough attention is Jay White. Now, Jay White was kind of an afterthought. Tony Khan realized that he kind of set up everybody for some big, forbidden door kick in, and he made good on that. I think a lot of people expected Keith Lee. I think a lot of people are expecting Killer Cross. I think some people are expecting Samoa Joe, all of which are very much in the realm of believability. But realistically, I think that Jay White came out of nowhere and was a great friggin' appearance. I hope that they get the Switchblade to stick around. For those of you not familiar with New Japan, Keith Lee, Keith Lee's awesome, but Jay White is having, or had rather, I guess within the last couple of years, a stellar heel run. Undocumented well. And yes, I understand that it's New Japan, and that it's not like the biggest, fan base here in America, but he absolutely killed it when he was presented with the opportunity of being like the biggest bad guy for that company. So Jay White is an incredible hand. Not only does he have a killer gimmick, he's great in the ring and is really good in the mic. So I think Jay White is just as big of a deal as Keith Lee, and I love them both showing up on the same broadcast. So this is kind of a speculation video too. We're going to talk a little bit about what the future holds relatively soon for each company. So let's talk WrestleMania first, because I think that that's kind of something that's on everybody's mind. That's something that is, you know, the big deal, all right? And I love AEW. AEW is my favorite wrestling that's been around for the last couple years. It's amazing, and it definitely has some old school WCW and ECW vibes. There's no doubt about that. But WWE is still where all the marks go. It's still where all the smarks go. Even yours truly is still going to be watching WrestleMania both nights with bated breath. Looking forward to both of them. But yeah, I'm excited for WrestleMania. Probably to be disappointed, and I know that we have to get through Elimination Chamber first, and I think that's this Friday or next Friday. I'm not sure. We as a team at the P3 really don't go in on these Saudi events. Just from a personal, professional perspective, we feel that they're not, you know, it's not a good look. So, yeah, we don't cover the we don't really talk about the Saudi events. We don't pick the Saudi events. But it's foolish to us, you know, we can't just assume that there are no you know, that they're not there. They're going to happen. We just got to deal with that. So, we have Vince versus Roman. Nope. I wish. Right? We have Goldberg versus Roman. That's probably not going to change hands. Roman's probably going to retain. And then we have the Raw Elimination Chamber with Lashley, Rollins, Lesnar, etc. Wouldn't shock me if Lesnar walks out of the Raw Elimination Chamber as the champion, and then they end up doing the champion versus champion match at WrestleMania. Begs the question why they took the title off of Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble. That's WWE for you. They never think more than 6 minutes ahead at any given time. So, but Lesnar versus Reigns is already booked for WrestleMania. Whether it's going to be for the Universal title or both titles is yet to be determined. It's a big money match. It really is. I know that we really give WWE a hard time, with good reason, but they, you know, that Lesnar versus Roman will be a big money match, and I think this is, what did I say, Lesnar versus Roman? Yeah, Lesnar versus Reigns. Jesus, I can't keep myself straight today. Lesnar versus Reigns is a big money match, and needs to be treated as such. What's up, Scooby? We got Scooby in the chat. What's up, Scoob? So, and I'm excited for Lesnar versus Reigns. I think that'll be a great match, and I wouldn't shock me if Lesnar puts Reigns over. So, the other matches booked so far is Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte, which, again, is a big money match. Charlotte's a shit-eating heel. Ronda's the returning, you know, heroine. I think that this could be a really good, fun match that Charlotte's going to lose. And, hey, anytime Charlotte loses, we all win. So, that's good. And I'm sure that the card will fill out after Elimination Chamber. I get the feeling we're going to see Rollins versus Owens. I'm fine with that. In fact, I'm more than fine with that. I'm happy about it. Don't know where Lashley's going to end up on the card. The reports are coming out that Shane McMahon was supposed to be in a big money match at WrestleMania, and obviously with his release, he will not. So they're looking for a big match to replace that. So it would not surprise me if we get an outside the box, an outside the box person coming in. Would not shock me if Bray Wyatt came back. That would be a good way to get fans in and to get fans interested in the product. So, and I think I read something that they want to get Bray Wyatt back. Who knows if he will? If I were Bray, I'd tell him to fuck off. He's given them nothing but gold, and they've turned it into nothing but crap. So if I were Bray Wyatt, I'd tell him to fucking sit and spin. and I'd go to AEW, I'd go to Impact, I'd go anywhere else. I'd go to fucking New Japan before I go back to WWE if I were Bray Wyatt. Cena is another one, low key, coming off of the Peacemaker series. I don't know how interested he'd be to be getting back into the wrestling ring, but you know, he'd be one. Obviously, they probably always want The Rock, but he's got a million things going on. I've heard that they're planning for Roman versus Rock at WrestleMania next year, WrestleMania 39. We'll see. I wouldn't put too much powder on that one. You know, Scoop, I don't think Lashley sucks. I think that he has had a couple really shitty title reigns because WWE doesn't plan things out. They go by the seat of their pants a lot of the times. And, you know, that makes him look bad. But, I mean, like, he's really good in the ring. And, like, if you want a Hoss versus Hoss match, he's your guy. He's a big Hoss that can absolutely go in the ring. So, I don't have a problem with Lashley. I think he's probably going to get screwed at WrestleMania. I think he probably gets a low-tier match that he deserves better than, but we'll see. The other, the other thing that they could do for a high-profile match, and I pray that they don't do this, is unfreeze The Undertaker and bring him out. You know, let Mark stay retired, man. He's earned it. He deserves to just have ridden off into the sunset under his own, on his own way. I don't want to see The Undertaker come back for WrestleMania. I don't want to see The Undertaker come back, period. So we'll see how they end up filling out the card, but that's my way too early prediction. I think you probably get Nakamura versus. I think you probably end up getting Nakamura versus Corbin for the Intercontinental title. And I don't know what happens with the U.S. title. I'd like to see a multi-man match in there, but we'll see. The Raw Women's title, I think Becky retains against Lita coming up at Elimination Chamber. And I really think that Bianca Belair probably gets her chance to get back over Becky Lynch. Well, should she? Now, I'm rooting for Rhea Ripley to win the Elimination Chamber match. I think that she is absolutely the best foil for Becky Lynch. But you can't deny Bianca Belair deserves to win and deserves to look good doing it. So I think that they'll probably go that route for the Raw Women's title match as Becky versus Bianca. And let the sign pointing commence. Now, what I'm really excited about is AEW Revolution coming up on, I believe, March the 6th. I haven't looked at the calendar in months. March the 5th or 6th, depending on whether they go on a Saturday or Sunday. They've been doing they've been doing Saturdays in the past, which is awesome. I wouldn't fault them to do a Sunday one either, but I really hope that they go with the 5th of March. I honestly forget. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. So Revolution, AEW Revolution is coming up in about 3 weeks' time, and that show absolutely has the power to one-up WrestleMania. And I'm not saying that they're in competition for WrestleMania. Not at all. Tony Khan has absolutely never said anything about competition, and that's exactly how it should be. They need to focus on their own product before they even think about being a competitor. But that being said, the fans are always going to compare AEW and WWE. That's just a fact of fucking life. And especially now that NXT has bottomed out, I believe that, fans are going to make comparisons to AEW and WWE with good reason. So, that being said, Revolution has been a great show every single year, and I expect this year to be no different. Stay hydrated. So, from the ground up, we're looking at very likely Adam Cole versus Hangman Adam Page. And that is a great starter match. I want to see Adam Cole win. I really do. I think the Hangman probably continues his title reign, but I want to see Adam Cole beat him. Because Adam Cole is one of, if not the best in the world right now. And I think he deserves the belt to show that. So, Adam Cole 100% will face Hangman Page at Revolution. Then you have the Face of the Revolution ladder match, which is basically a setup match for number one contendership, which is the ladder match. Keith Lee is already in it, so, I mean, there. Done. End of list. You put Keith Lee in a ladder match, and it's going to be an amazing match. You start thinking about other names that could be in there, and honestly, I don't know that we're done getting surprises between now and Revolution. I think that Killer Cross could show up. I think that Samoa Joe could show up. It would not surprise me to see either one of those two. So, yeah, I would love to see that happen. In addition, I think that we probably, maybe even see Athena, a.k.a. formerly known as Ember Moon. So, I think that she shows up and gets a title match. I don't know if it's the women's title. I don't know if it's the TBS title. But I think one of the two titles is on the line. I think that they'll both probably be on the line at Revolution. And wouldn't shock me to see Athena be in one of the matches. I think that she would be awesome with Britt Baker. And they don't really have something going for Britt Baker right now. So, that would be awesome. I also wouldn't hate to see Serena Deeb be the person to face Britt Baker at Revolution. Serena Deeb's coming out with, like, the best, I'm the best wrestler, or the best women's wrestler in AEW right now. Not disputed. She's pretty freaking awesome. So, would not shock me to see Serena Deeb show up in one of the title matches either. Tag team titles is a little murkier. You have the current tag team champions, which is the Dino Club for life, which is Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. I want to say they may end up with House of Black, or Kings of the Black Throne is their official tag team name. I would love to see them versus Kings of the Black Throne, but they're kind of in this feud with Penta. AEW teased seeing Penta Dark last night. Fucking A, I would want to see Penta Dark, man. Like, give me Penta Dark versus Malachi Black at Revolution, and I'm set. I think that would be an incredible match. So that then opens up the question: who gets the tag team title shot? FTR, man. FTR, Young Bucks, I think are both teams that would be in the fray. Would not mind seeing a multiple team match at Revolution, including the Jurassic Express and FTR, Young Bucks. Hell, even Private Party, I think, could be in that conversation. So, when you start to look at the card for Revolution, and obviously Punk versus MJF, it's a no-brainer. I think we're getting closer and closer to the Wardlow turn, which means we're getting closer and closer to Awesome Town. They're teasing it real hard, and it's when Wardlow turns, it's going to be a giant pop. So, I think you get MJF Punk, which would be great. And it looks like they may be angling for Moxley versus Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. Denny says Thunder Rosa versus Baker. That's not a bad call either. Thunder Rosa is another one that's out there in the ether. I don't want to say that she's doing nothing. She's right now. I think she's embroiled with that feud with Mercedes Martinez. So I think that's probably going to preclude her unless they do a multi-woman match, which no problem with that either. So that's where I think Thunder Rosa may have her, may have her interest at. But obviously I would have no problem with Thunder Rosa taking on Britt Baker. I think that would be. They've had an incredible match, and I think they're going to have more incredible matches down the pike. So for sure, That's one that is out there as well. And I mean, here's the thing. No matter how you slice it, Revolution is probably going to be pretty fucking good. I anticipate getting Moxley versus Bryan Danielson there. I anticipate getting Cole versus Hangman. I anticipate the Face of the Revolution ladder match being amazing. If Sammy defends, it's going to be a great match. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on that could make Revolution the must-see event for AEW this year, and with good reason. Like I said, man, All Out has been like the big like blow-off show. It's been the big surprise show. Double or Nothing has always been a fun, like, you know, Double or Nothing's good for a surprise or two as well. But for me, Revolution is like the show that I can't miss. Revolution is the show that has amazing matches every single year. And at the end of the year, we're talking about being one of the best pay-per-views of the year. So without a doubt, I believe that Revolution again will be tops. And again, you know, comparing Revolution to WrestleMania is apples and oranges, because they're two totally different shows. But at the end of the day, and I try to say this as much as possible. If you're a wrestling fan, you got options. If you're a wrestling fan, right now is a great time to be a wrestling fan. You know, you have WWE putting on decent pay-per-views, and yeah, their weeklies are nothing to write home about. And yes, they've cut a lot of our favorite wrestlers from NXT. But at the end of the day, you know, Royal Rumble was a success. I'd say a solid B+. So yeah, I mean, they're doing well, obviously, and WWE or AEW is continuing to catch fire. And like I said, between now and Revolution, I anticipate to see at least one more debut, if not 2 or 3. So, yeah, this is going to be an incredible time to be a wrestling fan. You factor in the fact that New Japan is coming back to, New Japan Pro Wrestling is coming back to, oh hell, what's the name of that channel? Oh god, it's the one they were on before that Impact's on now. Access, maybe? But Vice, I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, I you know, New Japan's coming back to televised shows in America again, which is awesome. There's a lot of great things right now to be a wrestling fan, so you know, wear it proudly. I see people all the time wearing AEW shirts, and I'm always sure to be like, you know, that's an awesome shirt, man, or a great shirt. My wife said that she saw somebody wearing like an AEW jacket at her job the other day. So, you know, wrestling fans are coming back out of the woodwork. I think it's a little bit better to be a wrestling fan now. So, Scoob is prognosticating a Stone Cold appearance in AEW. You know, there are about 4 people that I don't think will ever turn up in AEW, and he's one of them. Undertaker is another one. Mick Foley, of all people, I don't think would ever go there just because of his relationship with Vince McMahon. And Triple H. And I know we had some fun talking about Triple H potentially showing up there and being on the show, you know, being the big surprise. But, you know, realistically, these people are way too loyal to WWE. So unless, like, Vince absolutely does them dirty, I don't think that they'll ever show up there. But never say never. You know, never say never. That's the one thing that we've learned in wrestling. You never know what's going to happen next. So yeah, I just want to get on here, put this out here, put out this episode, record it, and put it up on YouTube. Since you're not going to be getting an episode from us this week, we're all just kind of taking a week off. You know, getting ready for the WrestleMania Revolution push. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for chatting and sticking around and watching. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend. I can't believe I didn't mention that at all. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend, and yeah, hope it's a great game. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and keep on checking us out. I always appreciate hearing from everybody. So, until next time, this is Beef the Legend saying, rock on.